The grass is always greener on the other side because it's fertilized with shit. The last 2 months actually have been the hardest of my entire journey in the past 3 years. Clients that come and go, and my income that fluctuate more than the price of Bitcoin in the past couple of years. A relationship with a loved one that ended. And to finish it up, this week I got a potential lawsuit. So I literally tried to cry myself to sleep at night, but I was just feeling numb from emotions. This life of traveling and building a company and all of that looks good on the outside, but I'm not going to pretend here right now that it always feels good on the inside. But here's also what actually keeps me standing. Because I'm back in Bali at the moment and it feels amazing to be back with friends. It feels really good to be back in this recording studio, but my personal life and my business and finance situation is not the best at the moment. And that brings in lots of stress. I work really long hours. How do you manage that? How do you deal with that when you're literally on the other side of the world? Well, despite all of this, I still consider myself a happy person. Because I always say happiness is an outcome, not a goal. Because emotions on itself, like happiness, is an emotion, and emotions on itself are contradictory to each other. You can never feel sad if you never feel angry. You can never feel happy if you never feel angry or sad. Emotions are a contradiction, and they're an outcome based on your circumstances. And I did create the circumstances for myself out of 4 pillars. And out of those 4 pillars, there's only one pillar missing at the moment, and that's wealth. Let me explain. The 4 pillars that are there is, well, of course, I said one: wealth, health, impact, and relationships. Well, when it comes to my health, I am actually fit. I'm mentally healthy, I'm physically healthy. That helps a lot when it comes to the resilience you need to have to push through hard moments. If you're mentally and physically healthy, it's just an upside on every aspect in life. Then you have relationships. Even though one of my relationships with a loved one ended, which was rough, I'm not gonna lie. Even though if I look at it rationally, it does not make sense to pursue that relationship any further. Emotionally, you still have all the experience bounded to a relationship. And if I'm just harsh and upfront about it, I just got dumped. But all my other relationships with my parents, I call them every single weekend. With my friends, my best friend is one of my business partners. Another good friend of mine is another business partner, and I'm literally physically here with him in Bali. I have other friends here in Bali. In Bali, you also have the Bali Brotherhood, that every Saturday you come together with a bunch of guys to ground yourself, talk about how you're feeling and what's going on, and also celebrate your wins. So things like that, my relationships are quite in check. Then when it comes to the impact that I'm making, I know I could do more, but these videos that I'm recording right here, right now, are so crucial for me because I know I'm making a small impact with it. I had people come up to me in Bali, said, "Hey guy, I looked at one of your videos, Job. It really influenced my decision to come to Bali. Thank you for that. Now I'm at B work as well, or now I'm here as well. Now I'm doing this, and this," and that literally warms my heart. Or the few DMs that I get from people that say they watched my video and thanked me for it. That small impact that I'm making, it warms my heart to the fullest. And even though the people around me say the impact I'm having in their lives for just being me and having my own frameworks and always encouraging them to do better. So impact is something that I'm actively always working on that makes me feel good. And then you have the last one, the 4th pillar, that's wealth. And that's the only thing I'm trying to figure out. I've been up and down with the company, with money, in the past couple of years. Sometimes it's going really well and then shit hits the fan. And that's the thing. Life is fired at you point blank. And that brings me to the next framework as well. Since the next framework I use is the framework to live a powerful life. And then what you need to understand is the 3 definitions of power that gave you power or that takes away your power. And these 3 definitions are the things that help me dealing with life when it is fired at me point blank. For example, my upcoming lawsuit or not. Like, I don't know if it's gonna happen. I just got contacted about it. If it's my financial situation, if it's like whatever, just dealing with all the shit that you don't want to deal with as a 23-year-old trying to build his dream and live his dream. And those 3 definitions of power are actually quite simple. One is crushing time. Can you do things in a shorter amount of time than you actually plan to do? Normally, you would take 2 hours to clean up your room? Can you now do it in one? Normally you would have meetings from 1 hour. Can you now do it in 30 minutes? Crushing time gives you power because time is power, and time is the thing that generates more outcomes if you have more of it. Why can Elon Musk control multiple companies while even though time is fairly divided between everyone has 24 hours. Some people are just more useful with the 24 hours that they have. So crushing time is one of the things in power. So now I'm just looking at things, okay, how can I shorten payment cycles? How can I shorten sales cycles? How can I get more in contact with leads? That's what I'm doing right now, crushing time. Then the other one is detachment. Detachment is one of the biggest things why people are losing power over themselves. I cannot record videos even though I want to because I do not have a camera. Well, F you, because I'm literally recording this with my phone. I detach myself from having a camera and I use the camera on my phone because I do have a camera. Detachment is look at the possibilities that you can create no matter the circumstances. That's detachment. That is me losing that relationship at the moment, and what are the possibilities that I can create for myself if I detach myself from that situation. Detachment gives power because you take control over what you can control, and that is what helps me a lot in these times as well. And the other one, and that's the most important one, it's holding frame. Because what you will consistently have when you're building your own life is that you're the only one who believes in the thing that you're doing. You're the only one who is trying to build that life of yours. I do not expect my parents to understand it. I do not expect certain friends to understand it. I need to understand it, and I need to hold frame and push through all this shit, because the grass is only greener on the other side because it's fertilized with shit. You just don't see the shit, and everything has shit. Are you able to hold frame and push through or not? If you're trying to lose weight, for example, and you do your diet for 2 to 3 weeks and you don't see that much of a result, then you don't quit your diet. That would be dumb. No, it takes 6 weeks or 3 months, 4 months, even half a year to get the results that you want. And then you need to hold frame when life is fired at you point blank, when you need to detach yourself from certain outcomes or detach yourself from certain processes, materials, or people while you are crushing time. That is how you create a powerful life, and that is what helps me pushing through right now. And if there's one bonus thing, it's also, am I just being busy, or am I actually doing necessary required actions to get to the outcome that I want? And if I'm 100% honest, I'm really good at being busy. So make a list, write things down. What do I need to do to get from point A to point B? Because that's what I'm doing right now. And if I succeed or not, we will see. But that's why I'm documenting this entire journey. Shit hits the fan, you need to deal with it. That's life. All right. I know this is not the most happiest video, but at least it's honest and it's real. So if you think this was interesting, subscribe to the channel, because this is where I document my journey as a nomad entrepreneur and try to be as open and honest as possible to tell you what's going on, the ups, the downs, the lows, the cool places, the bad places, you name it. Now, I got way more work to do today, so you can subscribe to follow this journey or click on this video because I'm certain that you like it. And then I see you in the next one. Visionaries, take action, and I see you. Ciao.